Hi everybody, my name is Jada Malin and welcome to my first ever podcast video. I don't really know what I'm gonna call it. It took me actually a really long time to set this up. I have no clue what I'm doing. So don't judge me too hard. I went and got this microphone literally today. I was using like these little button microphones at first, but I didn't really like holding it for such a long time, like between my fingers, so I just went and bought a real like full-size one. Anyway, I drove out to the park today. I'm recording in my car because I kind of just wanted a good private area to talk. I went out to the lake at first and tried recording, but I just didn't feel very comfortable. People kept like walking by, and I'm not really used to doing this yet, so it just made me feel nervous and it was very distracting. Anyway, that's besides the point. I wanted to talk for my first podcast. I wanted to talk a little bit about graduating high school. I've been thinking about it like so much, what I should do my first podcast on. And I think to really kick it off is something that is personal to me and I think would be personal to my audience. And that is achievement or accomplishment, and especially with graduating high school because it's such a big deal. So anyway, some background. Recently, I graduated high school alongside all my friends, and I'm very excited. I worked so hard for it, literally like sleepless nights. I don't even need to explain it. I'm sure you know. Anyway, I worked really hard to graduate, and I expected my graduation day to be literally perfect. Like, I had been watching TikToks and I was so excited because everybody looked so happy on their graduation day, and they were posting these beautiful photos and taking all these what are they called? Photo shoots. I don't know why I forgot that word. They were taking photo shoots of their graduation gowns, and I was just so excited because I could finally do the exact same thing. But so like somebody, oh my gosh. Anyway, I was so excited, and then my graduation day came and I literally had such a bad day. Like, it was like comically funny how bad my day was. Oh my gosh, where did it even begin? I woke up that morning and I was very, very sick. Like, I was like so sick with the flu. Anyway, woke up sick, and then on the way there, I was wearing this white dress and I had spilt a red drink on my white dress. So that's awesome, always. I had to change out of it and get a new one that was a little bit too big on me, but anyway, I didn't get to wear the dress that I wanted to wear, which is like, it's fine. Got there, and the high school, literally, I'm not even making this up when I say it, the high school lost my diploma. Like, what? Yeah, so I didn't even get my diploma that day, honestly. Now that I think about it, I literally didn't get my diploma. And I had to like drive back to the school like a couple days later to get it reprinted for me because they just quite literally lost it. And just to top it off, on my way back home in the middle of 5 o'clock traffic, my car had broken down. Yeah, I guess it didn't break down, but it was like giving me all the warning symbols that I don't know what they mean, saying like you should pull over or the car is going to explode. They didn't actually say that, but yeah, so my graduation day just literally was not good. It was a disaster. Just things kept happening. Like, it was like coincidentally just like so bad. And I remember the day after graduation, I was like bedridden, sick still, and I was looking through my camera roll, and I had 0 photos from graduation. I had 0 pictures with my friends. I probably had like 5 pictures max, but I had barely any photos with my friends, and even with my family, I didn't really get a lot of like good pictures. And the day after graduation, everybody's posting their photos on Instagram, and I'm looking at all my friends' photos, and they look so cute, and I want to post my photos, and I literally have nothing. Like, nothing that I felt like posting, at least. And it kind of made me feel a little bit weird, like, for the next couple days. I kind of just felt like I had missed out a lot on a day that I will never get back. And I don't know, it was very, like, what's the word? It was just very upsetting to me. And I was feeling very bad about myself because I couldn't post these cute photos to match with everybody, and I couldn't show off my accomplishment and what I had worked so hard for over 12 years. And I just kind of was left feeling very like I had missed something, and I wasn't feeling accomplished. And yeah, I just wasn't feeling accomplished, and it was very difficult because I really wanted to. I really wanted my day to be perfect, and it just wasn't. And I started thinking back, like, over the next couple of days, I was thinking back on just everything, and I realized I had felt the exact same way when I had gotten my driver's license. I remember I was probably 14, and I really, really, really wanted my driver's license because I was so tired of having my parents drive me around everywhere. And I had a couple of friends who also had gotten their driver's license, so I just really wanted to get mine so I could be like one with them and be one of the kids who could drive around and be cool, I guess. And anyway, I remember by the time I had gotten my driver's license, instead of feeling very accomplished and like I had worked hard to get there, I felt relief that I didn't have to work hard anymore to obtain it. I felt relieved that I had finally done it, not for myself, but for other people. I could drive myself around, and I didn't have to irritate my parents anymore with asking them to give me a ride somewhere. I just didn't feel accomplished at all for doing that, for doing something that's kind of a big deal. And it got me wondering why exactly I don't feel accomplished ever with things that are big. I didn't feel accomplished with graduating. I didn't feel accomplished with getting my license. I just, even with other things, I can't really like think of other things right now, but other things, it's just very rare for me to really feel like I had worked hard and I had achieved it, and to let myself feel good about that achievement. And I don't really have like an exact answer to what it could possibly be that makes me feel this way. And I'm not just talking about myself either. I talked to multiple of my friends, and they were also kind of telling me the same thing. Like, graduation just felt like another day, and I thought it'd be a lot bigger. And I was thinking about it for so long, racking my brain on how I could really feel good about doing something. And what it came down to, like, in my mind, was that most of the goals that I have set for myself and most of the big things that I've achieved in my life, I didn't set those goals for myself. I set the goals for other people. I set the goals so that I could please other people's expectations of what I should be, who I should be, what I should be doing, and where I should be at a certain point in my life. And thinking about it a lot, I kind of came to the conclusion that when I'm working to meet a goal that somebody else has set for me, I tend to not be proud of myself when I reach that goal. Because at that point, I'm not looking for the emotions within myself, and I'm not looking for the excitement that I feel towards, like, I'm not looking for the excitement that I feel. I'm looking for the validation that somebody else will give me for completing anything. I'm looking for the likes on Instagram telling me that I did it. I'm not telling myself that I did it. I need an external source to tell me that I had done something. And I think it's a common feeling, especially nowadays with social media and stuff, to seek external validation other than feeling it within ourselves and finding the emotions within ourselves to tell ourselves that we are proud and happy for what we've done. So on graduation day, instead of me just sitting by myself for a minute and saying and looking back on everything and being like, wow, like I worked so hard and I finally made it, I instead wanted my parents to tell me, you worked so hard and you finally made it. And I wanted my friends to tell me that I had worked so hard, and I wanted to see that in a post that I had made and all the likes that I had received from that post, and I wanted other people to be proud of me for what I've done. But I wasn't proud of myself for what I've done. It was kind of just an empty feeling that I wanted to be filled with other people's words instead of my own. And especially when I was sitting in my room and feeling bad for myself, it was hard for me to kind of realize that me sitting here and feeling bad for myself is kind of just BS, because nobody else knows how hard I worked. I know how hard I worked, and I know how I felt doing that work. Nobody else was doing it for me. Nobody else was studying for these tests. I mean, they were studying for the same tests, but they weren't doing it as me. And only I can feel my emotions, and only I can know how hard I really worked. So I kind of realized, instead of looking for somebody else to understand how I felt and to really look at me and say, I am proud of you for what you've done, I needed to be that person. And I needed to be the person who knew what I had done and to tell myself, I am proud of you for what you've done. And sometimes it could be as easy as like looking in the mirror and like literally physically looking at yourself and saying that, which is like I always kind of felt like that, looking in the mirror and telling myself things was a little bit corny, but I'd see people like say all the time, like, I look at myself in the mirror in the morning and I tell myself positive affirmations, and I could never be that person. Like, it was just not I always just felt really awkward doing that. But if it works for you, then I would highly recommend doing it. For me, what I would do is I would just like visualize it in my head, like telling myself that I'm proud of myself. And I think it's very empowering to do that. And it's very helpful to get over the fear of not accomplishing things, to finally realize that you're only going to find that you can meet your own expectations. And to meet your own expectations, I think it would be easier to look past things needing to be perfect and just look at things in the ways that they are, and just accept them for what they are, instead of me looking at my graduation day and saying, I can't accept myself for this. I can't let myself feel accomplished for this because my day wasn't perfect and it didn't go perfectly to plan. Anyway, I've been yapping for a while, and my phone is literally about to die. So anyway, that is my first podcast video. I hope you enjoyed. I have a lot more to talk about. I'm a person who can talk about nothing for a very long time. So if that's something that you're interested in, I highly recommend subscribing. I will be posting every week, every Sunday. I don't have an exact time on when I should post, and I might switch from Sundays to posting on a different day. Nothing's really set in stone yet. I'm just kind of figuring it out. But I hope you enjoyed this first video. I'm also not really trying to like find answers here. I just kind of want to talk and share my opinions and experiences with things. So if you have any recommendations on what I can do differently to possibly make the video better or the audio better, like I said, I literally just went out and bought this microphone like today. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed. I am so excited to start this series, and I will hope to see you in the next podcast episode. Bye.